Thank you for joining us today to go over this gross production reporting system presentation. My name is Brad Johnson. I'm the division director here at the Oklahoma Tax Commission that has oversight over gross production reporting. And today we'll be going over some of the changes to our new gross production system. Joining me today will be John Cottengim, the administrator over our gross production system. John has been with the Tax Commission for about 16 years. During those 16 years, he's always worked in the gross production department. So he's kind of our subject matter expert. And I believe some of you have worked with him over the years. This new system that we're going to be implementing on November 11th, we're very excited for. We've been in the process of working on this since the beginning of January of this year. It's about an 11-month rollout. We will be making several changes to the way that the reporting functions, as well as to some of the new forms. And so today, during this presentation, the items that we plan to cover are going to be new forms, specifically for registration, which will be the new Form 340, which will replace the existing registration forms. We'll be going over the reporting Form 341, which will be replacing the current Form 300 and associated forms. From there, we'll discuss some of the changes that will take place from the existing gross production reporting system, as it will now be hosted on OKTAP, which is part of our GenTax OneLink product. Some of you may be familiar with OKTAP. This is what the Oklahoma Tax Commission utilizes for business, individual, and corporate taxpayers already. We'll be adding gross production functionality to this existing system. During the presentation today, we'll be covering topics such as the account visibility, registration, bonding, reporting, and billing and compliance. At the conclusion of this presentation, we have created a Microsoft Office form for you to submit your questions. We will not be doing a live Q&A. We thought that it's better and more thoughtful for us to be able to receive your questions, answer them in detail, and we'd like to prepare an FAQ, or a frequently asked question document, that we can post on the website with this PowerPoint. So without further ado, I'm going to have John Cottengim give the detail of this presentation. And I just want to thank you for joining us. And as a reminder, please keep your microphones muted and your videos turned off during this presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bradley. My name is John Cottengim. I'm the administrator of gross production for the Oklahoma Tax Commission. A little background info on me is I went to the University of Oklahoma, studied economics, and I started working for the state about 16 years ago. My entire time with the state has been in gross production, so I have a little bit of knowledge. During that time, I've gotten to work with a lot of you over the years, and it's been an absolute pleasure. The first thing I'd like to talk to you today about is forms, since we do have some major form changes that are coming up. But first, I wanted to let you know, if you're not aware, the Oklahoma Tax Commission hosts all of the forms that it currently uses on its website. These forms are broken up into the broad categories such as individual, business, motor vehicle, and ad valorem. Those are then further broken down by subcategories such as sales tax, use tax, withholding, and gross production. The forms page on our website is very robust. You can search by individual form number, or you can do a broad search. For example, if you searched for gross production, it would return you all the forms associated with gross production. Now, on to the form changes. The first major form change, it involves your Form 320A, which is your request for assignment of a production unit number, and your Form 320C, which is your form to request a change to your production unit number or transfer it to a new individual. Both of these forms have been eliminated and have been replaced by the Form 340. We believe this new form provides far more functionality than the previous ones and is also easier to use. First, we removed fields that we no longer considered necessary, such as formation, spacing, and density. However, when you're filing the form, it will require you to enter certain information such as the API for each lease and the legal description for each lease. If we don't have that information on hand when you file the form, it will ask you to update the information for any existing lease. This new central form handles all of your non-unitized PUNs. That's your PUNs with that 4-digit merge number. So this form will handle all the ones that have all the zeros at the end. When you register a new well, it'll identify your first production period and it'll set the tax rate at 5% and then automatically increase that to 7% after the first 36 months. When you go to update an existing well with this form, as soon as you enter your operator information and the production unit number, it will actually pre-populate all of the current information that we have about that lease. Then you can see the changes you are making. And then once you make those changes, the operator will be notified. And if you have changed it to a new operator, the new operator will be identified of these changes. Now, the Form 320U, which handles your merged PUNs, those that actually have a number, a 4-digit number, they will still be using that 320U to register new units or to make changes to existing ones. All current units, all current forms will be required to be filed electronically. The next form, which will probably have the most impact for you all when going live, is the Form 341. This replaces your existing Form 300, which is your monthly production report form. And for reclaimers, this will replace your Form 323, which is also your monthly remittance form. This new central form will handle all of your GPX remittance, your OERB remittance, and your SOER remittance. We believe this form will be easier to prepare and process, and it contains some new fields and inputs. First, when you enter your PUN on this form, it will actually populate your non-taxable royalty interests. Those are your interests such as your state school land commission or federal that are not subject to taxation. We've taken the other exemptions that were traditionally rolled into that one field and separated them out. For example, marketing cost deductions are now their own fields. If you have a frac oil exclusion, you'll be able to separate the volumes and values from your interest ones. And for the reclaimers, you'll enter your production unit number as normal, and we have a field for the county that you reclaimed the product in, what your deducts are, and then any exempted volume and value. A major change coming with this new form is, while the 323A is still required by statute, the Oklahoma Tax Commission is also going to require you to submit that to us monthly. We'll provide an electronic form where you can complete that and submit it to us, and you'll have to submit one for each of your reclaiming accounts. Further, with this implementation of this new form, the Form 300C, which was your summation of your taxes and the product type for your remittance, will no longer be needed. We'll be handling that function behind the scenes, so it's one less form you'll have to complete. Now, the question is, where will you be doing all this gross production stuff? Well, that will be housed in OKTAP, which is the Oklahoma Taxpayer Assistance Portal. Hopefully, some of you are familiar with this website, as it contains kind of a one-stop shop for your individual taxes, your business taxes, and your corporate taxes. We are now integrating gross production into this site. One thing to know about the site is that everybody is going to be required to have a login, and we are currently working to migrate your logins from the current gross production site into our new OKTAP site. When you log into OKTAP, you'll be brought to a summary screen, which provides you account visibility. Here it provides very centralized information. You'll be able to see your current balances and make directed payments to those balances. Any filings that you have that are outstanding will show up. Any changes to your account will be populated and you'll be notified. If the Oklahoma Tax Commission has sent you a letter, maybe like a billing letter or a approval or denial letter, those will be stored on OKTAP, so you have a quick, easy reference for them. You'll be able to search through OKTAP to see your past submissions that have been made. And you can do simple things such as update your name and address and do all of your registration functions. The account visibility also provides information about your current and upcoming periods. Notification of the periods that need to be filed, such if you look at our example here, Mr. John Smith needs to file his August 2022 production report, and the system notifies him of that. And you'll notice that it provides a kind of a little warning symbol indicating there's an item that needs to be addressed. Once that filing is successfully submitted, it will be updated on the website. And then when a payment is made, the website will notify them of that change. If there's a period that needs attention, maybe it's a past period, then the system will provide a warning for that. Also, for reclaimers and transporters, this visibility will provide you notification if you have a license that's about to expire or has already expired, and a method for you to renew that license online in a smooth, easy process. The next area we want to talk about is you can do registration on OKTAP. The entire process to getting your gross production account set up all the way to the point where you're remitting and reporting taxes is housed on OKTAP. Every form that you use for gross production will be available electronically, and it will be required to be submitted electronically. We've standardized this process to match the rest of the OTCs. We've improved the tracking, and we've made it much more streamlined. We'll provide you communication of what stage your registration process is, such as we've received your application, we are reviewing your application, and it has been approved. To reiterate, this will be a single location for any gross production request you want to do, whether it's changing your PUN, registering, or making production history requests. It'll all be housed in OKTAP as your one-stop shop. Once you start your registering, you'll be able to start bonding. As you know, everyone's required to be bonded, and we'll update the bond. You can update your bonds through OKTAP. OKTAP will also provide an annual view of your bonding requirements. So if you're over bonded or under bonded, it will let you know. If the amount is insufficient, it'll provide you a simple, defined process to make adjustments to your bond. You'll also be able to see any and all of your current active bonds. If we look at our current example here for gross production registration, individual has gone through the bonding process. They started with their initial identification to get registered. They filled out the application information. They filled out their contract information, the contact information, filled out their address information, and now they're completing their gross production information. Here, they're inserting a bond for Ricky's Insurance. They've added bond receipt ABC 12345 and the amount of $1,250,000, and that went effective August 1st, 2025. If they needed to stop it, they could update it here, and if they needed to make changes, they could submit those changes through OKTAP.
And just to clarify, some of these dates may seem a little bit odd, but this is from the testing environment within our software program.
The next area I'd like to talk to you about is reporting, since that's going to be the biggest issue to tackle. First, again, it'll be on the new form, which is the form 341. And as you see, we have
Hey, John, you cut out.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, sorry about that. I'll just start from the beginning. So the next area I'd like to talk to you about is reporting, since that'll have the most direct impact on you. Again, we've updated the reporting to use a new form, which is the form 341. This form will load all of your non-taxable interest when you enter your PUN. So that would be like your state school land commission interest, your federal exemptions, or any other city or local exemptions that you have. Further, we'll load the tax rate based upon the production periods that you entered, and that is auto-calculated based on the initial registration filings. We've also added the OERB and SOER fees to the form to provide more transparency on your total tax liabilities. This new form will provide continuity with how you make payments with the rest of the tax commission, and it standardizes that method. You'll still be able to submit ACH credits and ACH debits and set a date for future payment. For those of you that have a large number of PUNs, we are going to provide a new upload format and template similar to the one that you currently use so that you can use Excel to upload your production data. We'll have this prior to going live in November, and we'll publish these to the website for your reference. To reiterate, all gross production forms are now required to be filed electronically. Next area. The next area I want to, oh no. The final area I'd like to talk to you about is billing and compliance. No, it's nobody's favorite topic except for the tax commissions, but it's an important one. So unlike in the past, as you know, gross production billing has been a little delayed. Well, we now have an automated billing process. Once a liability is established, a clock will start ticking for billing. After the first 38 days of that liability being established, a billing letter will be sent identifying any penalty and interest that is accrued as a result of the failure to make a payment. If that payment is not received, then a second billing letter will be sent to the taxpayer after 68 days from the date of the first billing letter. This will include updated information about the new penalty and interest totals. In the unfortunate event that the second billing letter is not addressed, then the account will be subject to a tax warrant after 90 days after the second and final bill was issued. This tax warrant will also be sent to our outside collection agencies. This concludes our presentation. For questions, we've provided a link to a GP forum in the chat. It'll allow you to ask up to 3 questions based on specific topics that were contained in this presentation. If you have more than 3 questions, please feel free to submit a second form. We will use these questions to construct a general frequently asked questions document, or FAQ, that we will publish to our website. Thank you.
Okay, and I'd like to just demonstrate a little bit of this form function. So let me see, bear with me as I pull this up. Okay, so we put the link to this form in the chat, and it's also in the body of the presentation invite. So if you click on that link, what it's going to do is it'll take you to this form here, Oklahoma Tax Commission Gross Production. First, you'll need to enter in your email information here, and then you'll select what the topic is that your question is concerning. You know, is this something from the registration form change, something from the production reporting form change, or any of the other topics that we discussed today? Then you'll type out your question, entering this into the form here. Should you have another question, you can enter that here, and then additionally through here. Once you click submit, this information will be sent to us, to our gross production questions inbox, and we will work with our team to answer these questions in kind of a consistent and definitive manner. From there, we will compile them, and we plan to create, as I mentioned at the beginning, a frequently asked questions document, and we will publish that on the website, likely near the beginning of September. So that gives us about 2 weeks to kind of go through that. Additionally, I understand that this presentation is brief and it's covering a lot of information. So we have put this PowerPoint into the chat of today's meeting. If you have trouble accessing that, or if you need assistance, please just mention that in the chat and we'll try to get that to you. And again, you can always respond to the gross production questions inbox. So thank you for your time, and we appreciate your input. So please make a priority to go out and fill out this form and let us know of any questions or concerns that you may have. And as always, thank you. We appreciate the opportunity to work with you. Bye-bye.